national clearance event. Get 0% for 60 months on the Tundra Crew Max and save over $6,700 in finance charges, or get $3,000 cash back on all 2010 Tundras, plus save on Tacoma. Toyota, reliability to move you forward.
Dr. Timothy Quinn joins us now to answer your healthcare questions, and you can email those questions to the doctors at wlbt.com. Thank you so much for being with us, Dr. Quinn. Now, many of us think that if we skip a meal, it helps us with our weight.
Right.
And you say that's a bad idea.
It works just the opposite. It works just the opposite. Basically what happens is you have like an individual who might eat dinner at 7 p.m., wake up the next morning, go to work, you know, from 7 p.m. to 7 a.m., that's 12 hours. Then they'll eat lunch about maybe 12. We're looking at 17 hours. That's a lot of time to go by. And what happens is the body, the metabolism of that individual automatically just slows down. So that person is less likely to lose weight. The second thing that happens is that person stores more fat because the body is trying to store more energy to get ready for this considered fasting state that this person is in. And then the third thing is when the person eats, you know, they'll go to McDonald's or somewhere and they'll try to make the healthy selection, because you can go to McDonald's and get the salad, but they'll go there and they haven't eaten since 17 hours and chances are they're not going to make the healthy selection. So it really works against you. So it's a good idea that when you get up in the morning, you know, just have something light. And like you talked about during the break, you just have some fruit or just something light. Put something on your stomach so your body can go ahead and start burning calories. And when it's time for lunch, you're not so hungry and there's a less chance that you'll overeat.
Well, I think people are also confused as to how many calories they need daily. Some people can, you know, say they can operate on 1,000. Some people need 2,500.
Right.
What is the, I guess you could say, normal guidelines?
Well, it's suggested somewhere between 1,600 to 1,800 calories a day if you're trying to lose weight for most standard, you know, people, you know, out in the real world. But really, I tell my patients it's hard to count calories. I mean, how are you going to weigh things and figure out this? It's just, there's a lot of work in that. Basically, there's a golden rule. Look at your food selection and ask yourself, does this look healthy? And 99% of people are going to make the right decision. You know if it's healthy or not. If you're riding down the street and you see McDonald's and Subway, ask the magic question. If you choose Subway, you make the right answer. And most people know what's healthy and what's not. It's just sometimes we don't do what we're supposed to do.
Is there a meal that is worse to skip than, say, another meal? Say, for instance, is breakfast, is that the worst meal for you to skip?
I think breakfast definitely is the worst meal, because in the morning, that's when you're putting the most work on your body. You're getting ready for work, you're getting to work. Usually when most people get to work, that's the hardest part of their day. That's the part of the day that the body demands the most energy. And if you skip breakfast, that'll put you into that, what we call the fasting mode, which goes back into our, our survival mentality that we're built in, so that we could store the fat, decrease the metabolism. So breakfast definitely is the worst meal to miss.
What about eating late at night? Is there a certain time that would be best to try to have everything that you're going to eat, eat it by that point?
Right. And so, I mean, really, try to eat dinner. If most people go to bed around 11, after they watch the news, of course.
Thank you.
But maybe eat dinner about 7:30, and sometimes if you're trying to do some restriction in your calories and you eat a little less for dinner, it's okay to have a piece of fruit before you go to sleep. I usually have like maybe an orange or an apple. That's not a really bad thing to do.
Now, I know too that a lot of people, when they're really concerned about their weight, they cut back. And what about that? We keep hearing small meals throughout the day, nuts, dried almonds, not the salted almonds, and things like that. What do you suggest? It
really works. Now, what I do personally is I eat every 2 to 3 hours. And basically what I'll do is when I wake up in the morning, I'll have like maybe a lean pocket, just something very light in calories, or maybe a bagel or a piece of toast or a boiled egg or something, just something real light to get my metabolism going at 7 a.m. And then maybe around 10 I'll have a snack, like maybe a cereal bar or a piece of fruit. And then for lunch I'm not really hungry, so I can really eat light, maybe half of a sandwich. Say about maybe 12:30, and about 3, just another piece of fruit or a cereal bar. And then for dinner at around 7, I'm not really that hungry, and then I can, eat light, just basically eat what you normally eat, but just eat less. But just to try to figure out a specific menu, that's almost impossible. You know, you just have to kind of just make your selections and just use the magic question, is it healthy?
Now, I've had friends who say, I eat once a day, and that's in the evenings, but when you do that, you, as you said, you tend to pile on more calories because you're so hungry.
There was a research study where they took 2 groups, and each group took in 1,500 calories. One group had the calories divided up over 5 feedings with 300 calories apiece, and the other group took 2 feedings of 750 calories. And the group that did the 5 times a day with the same number of calories, they lost a great deal of weight. And the group that only ate twice a day, they did not lose weight and they cheated.
Very interesting.
That is interesting. Yeah. That is interesting.
Well, thank you so much for joining us again this
Thanks
afternoon.
for having me.
Well, it's great to have you, Dr. Timothy Quinn, and you're a general practitioner in the Jackson area. So I'm sure you're dealing with, and you've lost weight. You look great.
Hey, it works.
We need to follow you. All right,
okay.
Thanks a lot. Well, and of course, for the latest health news anytime, you can always visit our website at wlbt.com and click on Medical Matters. Barbie is right back with another look at our First Alert weather. And first, here's a look at what's on tonight here on WLBT.
If you fear the chicken, you suffer from allochthorophobia, and we can't help you with that. But if you fear the remodel,
it's time to remodel the bathroom.
you suffer from renophobia,
Remodel.
and there is a cure for that.
Remodel.
Ah, the bath fitter. If you think this is a quick fix cover-up, you would be wrong. It's not too good to be true. It's Bath Fitter. Do a little research at bathfitter.com.
When you put everything you've got into it, have the accolades to prove it, the only thing left to do is share it. The Ram Tint Event. Drive one without a payment for 60 days. And if it doesn't do everything you ask it to do, bring it back. Ram.
Or in lieu of 60-day offers, get up to $5,250 in total values on Ram 1500 Crew Cab Bighorn Edition.
I remember first finding Repeat Street on the internet. Sounded so interesting, I had to check it out. I found an eclectic mix of gifts, clothing, jewelry, even home furnishings. They're always full of new stuff. Repeat Street's just a great place to go. I'm not afraid to admit it. I am a Repeat Street fanatic. I come by 2 or 3 times a week. They love me here. I'm Rebecca Hardenthrift, and that's my Repeat Street story. Send your Repeat Street story to repeatstreet@bellsouth.net.